ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Recite the Bhagavatam prayers to Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Srimata Swakatha Krishna Punyasravana Kirtanaha Hridyantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhrusatam Nashtapraye swabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavat Uttamasloke Bhakte Bhavati Naistiki. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. His Holiness Sri Rompasa Maharaj ki Jai. So we are in the chapter Dhritarashtra quits home. So the background, those who maybe it's not discontinued, I can tell the background is Dhritarashtra, after the war, is staying in Yudhishthir's home, and shows no signs of leaving the home. He still stays at home despite he lost everything which he actually was very dear to him in his life. So at that time, Vidura, after hearing the instructions from Maitreya Muni, and Maitreya Muni actually observed while the discussions are happening between Krishna and Uddhava. So Maitreya Muni instructs Vidura. Vidura asks relevant questions about the purpose of life, and he got the instructions. Now he comes back enlightened. He comes to home, essentially with the aim to deliver Dhritarashtra, because he's compassionate. That is the nature of the Vaishnavas. He could have stayed behind where he was because he already left. He doesn't want to participate in the war. So he just left Antyadhyatras. There's no need for him to come back. He's already detached, but he came back with an intention to deliver his big brother. So he came, and then everybody is happy. Yudhishthira is happy, all the family members. They say it's like consciousness has come back in a dead body. That's how they felt when Vidura actually came to the palace back. So they stayed there for a couple of weeks because it takes some time, because Dhritarashtra is not an ordinary person. He has seen so many things, still he's attached to all the comforts of the life. So Vidura knew it's not going to be a one-day affair. So he was there for a couple of weeks, you can say, so that he can actually instruct his brother. So he started instructing his brother, and finally, but the Dhritarashtra is also like not an ordinary soul. He is very well versed. He has all the knowledge. He knows Krishna is Bhagavan, but despite he likes Duryodhana a lot. So this is the state of many of us. We know what Krishna consciousness is. We know what's good, permanent in our life, what is not permanent in our life. We know what our direction is, but still we say, oh, let me do this one more thing, right? Let me have this. What's so wrong with this? So I'm still Krishna conscious, right? So we are always in our 2 feet in two boats, right? So that's the situation. So Dhritarashtra sometimes represents us, our kind of mentality, where we never show any sign of detachment. So this Dhritarashtra, but once Vidura came and he shared his knowledge, started instructing, he at once decided, okay, now is the time to go. And the previous verse actually says, he actually did it with enthusiastically, not that forced okay, now I can't do anything, let me hear to Vidura kind of thing. After hearing Vidura, he is really enlightened, he was enthusiastic and enthusiastically decided to go back. So here, that is what, now this verse is about 33, right? Or 34?
33 and 30. Oh, sorry, 34 and
34 and 35. I'll just talk about 34 also. Like the Yudhishthir comes in the morning. Yudhishthir is actually very pious king. So one of his routines is after doing all his morning activities, he actually goes and checks on the elders. That is the nature of Prabhupada says Vedic culture. So he goes and checks, and then he finds in the 33 verse, where is my well-wisher, Uncle Vidra, and Mother Gandhari, who is very afflicted due to all her sons' demise? My uncle Dhritarashtra was also very mortified due to the death of all his sons and grandsons. Undoubtedly, I am very ungrateful. So you think I did some mistake? I already did. We both Arjuna and Dhritarashtra, Yudhishthira didn't want to kill Kauravas. That's their nature, but they had to under the instruction of Krishna. But so this feeling of he did, they did this and they should not have done that is always lingering in their mind. So he's saying, undoubtedly, I'm very ungrateful. Did he therefore take my offenses very seriously and along with his wife drown himself in the Ganga? So that now his thought are always going. So it shows there is no animosity towards Dhritarashtra. So this is why Yudhishthira is always considered as equanimous, right? He shows that kind of behavior despite enemies or whatever, right? He still has the same respect for his uncle. Now, in verse 34, so he's remembering what actually, how Dhritarashtra and Vidura actually helped him. He says, Pitari uparate pandav sarvana suhrada shishun arakshatam vyasanataha pitravyau kagatau itaha. Can somebody want to repeat on online? Or here? Pitar viparate pandav sarvanah suhridashishun arakshatam yasanataha pitravyo kvagatau itaha.
पितरौ परते पाण्डौ सर्वानः सुहृदा शिशून् अरक्षतां व्यसनतः पितृव्यौ गतापितः.
Anyone online would like to recite? One more? Yeah.
पितरिव परते पाण्डौ सर्वान् सुहृदः शिशून् अरक्षतां व्यसनतः पितृव्यौ क्वागताविता. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
पितरे उपरते पाण्डौ सर्वान् सुहृद शिशून् अकरक्षतां व्यसनतः पितृव्यौ गतौ इतः.
Anyone would like to?
No, Prabhu. Pandau Shavana Sulhridam Sisun Arakshatam
Yasanata
Vyasanata
Pitravyo Katavitaha. Yeah. Anita Mataji would like to read?
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Pitare uparate pandav sarvanah suhritah sishun arakshatham vyavasantah pitruvyo kva gathavitah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, Pitari, upon my father, Uparate, falling down, Pandav, Maharaj Pandu, Sarvan, all, Nah, of us, Suhradaha, well wishes, Shishun, small children, Arakshatam, protected, Vyasanataha, from all kinds of dangers, Pitravyav, uncles, Kwa, where, Gatau, have departed, Itaha, from this place. So, naturally, is inquiring, when my father Pandu fell down, and we were all small children, these two uncles gave us protection from all kinds of calamities. They were always our good well wishers. Alas, where have they gone from here? So, who are the two uncles he's talking about? Anybody can guess? One is Dhritarashtra, Vidura. So, he didn't see both of them. Previous verse, he always says he didn't see Gandhari also. So, he says both uncles, they protected from all kinds of calamities because Dhritarashtra was like a father to Pandavas too. He was not bad in the beginning. He was actually taking care of them until Duryodhana started expressing that he wants to have a desire to have the entire property for himself. So he was actually protecting. He has the love for the Pandavas too, and that is still there, but he has more love towards his son Duryodhana and other sons. And Vidura was right from the beginning, he was always partial to Pandavas. He protected them when in the forest they tried to kill the Pandavas. Vidura always give the additional information secretly so that Pandavas can be protected. So he remembers both. See, in this case, Yudhishthira is not remembering all the atrocities done by Duryodhana under the direction of or tacit direction of uh, Dhritarashtra. He's only remembering the positive things. That's another nature of a pious king. So that much purport here. I will go to the next verse. Now Suta Uvacha here. Suta Uvacha Krupaya Sneha Vaiklavyat Suto Viraha Karshitah Atmeswaram Achakshano Na Pratyahati Piditaha. Suta Vivacha Krupaya Sneha Vaiklavyat Suto Viraha Karshitah Atmeswaram Achakshano Na Pratyahati Piditaha.
Sutavacha Kripaya Sneha Vaiklavayat Suto Viraha Karshitaha Atmeswaram Achakshano Na Praya Hari Pudataha
Yeah, Pratyahati Piditaha.
Suta Uvacha Kripaya Sneha Vaiklavyat Suto Viraha Karshitaha Atmeshravamashakshano Na Pratyahati Piditaha.
Anyone? One more person from online?
Better too.
Yes.
Oh, within the Prabhu, please go ahead. You get it,
No, Prabhu, please, you go ahead.
No,
Like,
please
I'll
do it. Last time
continue.
you didn't get a chance to do.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Suta uvacha krupaya sneha vaiklavyat suto viraha karshita atmeshwaram achakshano napratya atipiditaha. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Narottam Prabhu?
Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu. Suta Uvacha Kripaya Sneha Vaiklavyat Suto Viraha Karshita Atmeshwaram Achakshano Na Pratyahati Pidita.
Thank you. So let's go to the verse by verse, word by word. Suta Uvacha, Suta Goswami said, Kripaya, out of full compassion, Sneha Vaiklavyat, mental derangement due to profound affection. Sutaha, Sanjaya, Virha Karshataha, distressed by separation. Atma Ishwaram, his master. Achakshanaha, having not seen. Na, did not. Pratyaha replied, Atipiditaha, being too aggrieved. So Sanjaya was now his secretary. Sanjaya was the secretary for Dhritarashtra. He is also feeling different, like similar way, like Yudhishthira is feeling here. Suta Goswami said, because of compassion and mental agitation, Sanjaya, not having seen his own master Dhritarashtra, was aggrieved and could not properly reply to Maharaja Yudhishthira. Now, naturally, Sanjaya was always with, throughout his life, he was serving Dhritarashtra. He actually basically whatever happened on the battlefield, he relayed it back to Dhritarashtra and is very dear to Dhritarashtra. So he is also feeling similar way. So he's been basically purports here, Sanjaya was the personal assistant of Maharaj Dhritarashtra for a very long time. So he has close quarters opportunity to see who Dhritarashtra is. So when he saw that he left the home without even Sanjaya not being informed, he could not control himself. And he says his sorrows had no bounds. It's not that he's happy. This evil king has gone kind of thing. He need to serve Dhritarashtra even one moment in that mood. He was fully compassionate toward Dhritarashtra because in the game of battle of Kurukshetra, King Dhritarashtra had lost everything, men and money, And at last, the king and queen had to leave home in utter frustration. So he actually studied in his own way, but he did not know that the vision of Dhritarashtra actually awakened by Vidura. He was thinking the Vidura back, they're having nice conversation, but he didn't know. Vidura actually instructed Dhritarashtra, and that's why Dhritarashtra had a change of vision and for better, and he actually left the home. He says here, Prabhupada says, in enthusiastic cheerfulness for a better life. So this word is not probably is not in the translation, but Prabhupada actually giving here enthusiastically has gone. So Vanaprastha is not something just a step we just go. You have to be enthusiastic about it also. That means you need to know what you need to do in Vanaprastha ashrama. So he says, for a better life after departure from the dark well of home. Unless one is convinced of a better life after renunciation of present life, one cannot stick to the renounced order of life simply by artificial dress or staying out of home. So this is important. We had some funny conversation yesterday, but that is important. What do you want to do? Why you want to take Vanaprastha? Is it like first initiation, second initiation, then departure, then like that? No. This is about what you want to do. And Vanaprastha, Prabhupada says later in some purports, the life is until Grahastha life, husband, wife have the dependency. In Vanaprastha, the married life, the dependency is by the Vedic custom, husband and wife relation. In Vanaprastha, the wife has to follow voluntarily. The relationship is like your wife is also like anybody else who wants to, like any other follower of you want to also come with you Vanaprastha, that's also allowed. At that point, they're all equal. It's no more husband-wife relationship, but you still have, like you protect others, you protect. So that's what Prabhupada says, right? And in this case, Gandhari also left on her own, means along with the Dhritarashtra. That means she made a decision. Okay, I will go. So Vanaprastha, why this Arjuna wanted to do the same thing in the battle of Kurukshetra. He wanted renunciation, right? He doesn't want all this war and all these sorrows which follows. So he says, I want to retire from this battlefield, Arjuna says. One. And two, Yudhishthir here, he also lost family members. And he's in this king position of a king. And he seemed to having all kinds of pleasures of being a king. But why he didn't leave? Vidura came. Vidura must have spoken to Yudhishthir also, the knowledge, whatever he received. But why Dhritarashtra left? Why not Yudhishthir? That means the situation, different people, different ways. For Yudhishthir, the path is be a pious king and protect his praja and give a good life to all the citizens so they can actually practice a devotional service life. So as a king, he has a responsibility. For Arjuna, when you are in the middle of your thick of the battles, where in the life you are given an opportunity as a Kshatriya to protect dharma, your dharma is not to renunciate. Even Krishna gives the knowledge to him. Same Krishna gives knowledge to Uddhava, Uddhava to Maitreya, Maitreya to Vidura. But here he gave direct knowledge to Arjuna. But Krishna's intention is Arjuna to fight. But here this knowledge is about for Dhritarashtra to leave, retire from all the things. He could have done this much before during his family life at some point of time, like Vidura did. He could also gone with Vidura and he said, this is not my life. I should retire. Let these guys decide whatever they want. Or do the right thing, give it to Dhritarashtra, Yudhishthir, and would have gone. He didn't do any of this because he was so attached to his family. Because of that, somebody has to come and cut that knot, whatever he has. And that is what Vidura actually did. So Vidura's main job is at this time is to deliver this Dhritarashtra, who despite having gone through various ups and downs in life, actually not learned any lesson. And still, he actually even used the harsh words like you are living in Yudhishthir's home like a dog, right? Yudhishthir is giving the food and Bhima is actually throwing the chunks of meat to the dogs, whatever that is, and you're eating. You are like that king. So he actually did all kinds of things. He actually insulted him and he also gave the knowledge. So he awakened what is the real vision for Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra is also like, I don't know the whole, if you see the Mahabharata, he knew who Krishna was. He knew he's on the wrong side. He know Bhishma and Drona are also on the correct side. He never interfered in whatever is happening there. And he didn't have the fortune of being a devotee of Krishna, despite Krishna was in front of him. Where Pandavas and they all had this vision, but how come Dhritarashtra is a blind king? That means so many of us very blind. This also implicates though we have eyes, we are like blind to spiritual consciousness. Openly we see things, but we don't see anything. So we are like that. And when we are like that, and our goal is to only the material things will be difficult. So this renunciation part is something which is very essential, either for Dhritarashtra or Yudhishthir, all of us. Because in case of Arjuna, Krishna says, you fight as if you are just instrument of mine. Right? So there is a renunciation part there. Arjuna is fighting, but is now in a position where saying Krishna put him in a position and told him not to get attached to the results. Just do your duty. And same with Yudhishthir. He is actually ruling this kingdom in a detached mode. So those who are actually live their life in a detached mode during Grihastha life is also exhibiting this kind of renunciation and also setting the stage for Vanaprastha life. So Prabhupada says this about in the, let me see the chapter, the 4th canto. Fourth canto, 29th chapter and 54th verse. Let me see, I can go there. This will come, Prabhu.
Yes, we.
Fourth canto, 29, before I. No, I did type correctly.
Sharing is maybe that's okay. First one.
So 4th canto, 29th verse, 54th verse, a long verse.
Maybe you can share on the screen.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, 3 dots. Yeah. Share screen. Yeah. That one. Yeah. This one. Okay.
That's not one?
That's okay. Yeah.
Can anybody see it actually?
Right. Choose that one. Yes. Perfect. And just click that share. Yeah.
So Prabhupada is saying here how the Grihastha life would be. Whenever he says woman, please replace with men also. My dear king, woman who is very attractive in the beginning, but in the end very disturbing, is exactly like the flower, which is attractive in the beginning and detestable at the end. With woman, the living entity is entangled with lusty desires and he enjoys sex, just as one enjoys the aroma of a flower. He thus enjoys a life of sense gratification from his tongue to his genitals, and in this way, the living entity considers himself very happy in family life. United with his wife, he always remains absorbed in such thoughts. He feels great pleasure in hearing the talks of his wife and children, which are like sweet humming of bumblebees that collect honey from flower to flower. He forgets that before him is time, which is taking away his lifespan with the passing of day and night. He does not see the gradual diminishing of his life, nor does he care about the superintendent of death who is trying to kill him from behind. Just try to understand this. You are in a precarious position and are threatened from all sides. So, Prabhupada says, like, what is the Grihastha life here, right? So here Prabhupada says one becomes attached to Grihastha ashrama for 2 reasons only. The wife cooks palatable dishes for the satisfaction of her husband's tongue and she gives him sexual pleasures at night. So a person attached to Grihastha ashrama is always thinking of these 2 things, right? Thus, he actually forgets that he has to leave this body one day. So here, Sage Nar, this is Prachin Bharshi, I think he's instructing. So that's part of this story here. So here, family life is considered a blind well, andakupam, into which a person falls and dies without help. This is Prahlad Maharaj recommends that while one's senses are there and one is strong enough, he should abandon the Grihastha and take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, going to the forest of Vrindavan. So even during Grihastha also, yes, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, we should actually take the shelter of Krishna and go to Vrindavan. So that is what all the yatras we go actually. We cannot go and stay in Vrindavan permanently. Wherever you are, that is actually Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada also says you have a temple and you are serving the deities there nicely, and that is your Vrindavan. You don't need to go physically, go and stay in Vrindavan and Mathura. Right? It's not, people want to implement by letter and they will go and stay there, but if you're still doing all the things which you normally do, there's no point in going to Vrindavan. But whereas, like Prabhupada came here and established 108 temple during his time, there are more temples now. So we have services, serve the deities nicely, engage in the services of the deities, give Krishna to others, and Krishna will be very happy, as he said in Bhagavad Gita. Those who preach this science of Krishna consciousness, he is very dear to him. So we have the opportunity. You can do preaching, you can go do cooking, you can go and give Krishna, whoever comes to your temple, welcome them and make them feel, make a goal that he will come again. That's the only goal. If he keeps coming again and again, the deity will take care of the rest of the stuff. You are just an instrument. We don't need to give a whole philosophy on the first visit itself. Just make sure that he comes, take the darshan, see whether he got prasadam, and then that's it. We invite him for the next time. So according to Vedic civilization, one has to give up a family life at a certain age, the age of 50. Take vanaprastha and eventually remain alone as a sannyasi. That is the prescribed method of Vedic civilization known as varnashrama dharma. When one takes sannyasa after enjoying family life, he pleases the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So Prabhupada actually did this kind of thing also. So one has to understand one's position in family and worldly life. That is called intelligence. One should not remain always trapped in family life to satisfy its tongue and genitals in association with a wife. In such a way, one simply spoils his life. According to Vedic civilization, it is imperative to give up the family at a certain stage by force if necessary. Right? By force. It's not, naturally it happens good, but if it's not, force is also okay. Unfortunately, so-called followers of Vedic life do not give up their family even at the end of life, unless they are forced by death here. Separation is inevitable. So do the separation much earlier. There should be a thorough overhauling of the social system, and society should revert to the Vedic principles. That is the 4 varnas and the 4 ashramas. So varnashrama dharma also says vanaprastha is the main one of the dharmas, right? Like grihastha ashrama. And Prabhupada quotes in a different purport when he says, by force if necessary, he says, Prabhupada says, we also did the similar thing to actually spread Krishna consciousness. And we know how Prabhupada got separated. Apparently, the cause doesn't seem to be that big, but Prabhupada used that cause as for the greater thing he has to do. So he actually left the family for being first vanaprastha couple of years and then being a sannyasi. So now what does it mean? All the people who are working here in Intel, Nike, and Amazon and other things, should we give up that? So point here is like stay like Yudhishthira, be like a Yudhishthira. We have been given all the facilities. Like Yudhishthira has a kingdom, like we also have, like we have our jobs, we have our salaries, we have the comforts, everything. But stay detached and do service to Krishna directly or indirectly, and use your life for bringing other people to Krishna consciousness, guide them, right? But you have to show by example. Stay detached. That's the message for in this purport Prabhupada is saying, even in Grihastha life, you should stay detached. Always. Not getting, and Prabhupada put a very hard limit, 50 years. That means we all should be vanaprastha, but we know we are actually helping spreading the Krishna consciousness. We need to develop the element of detachment. So that is what vanaprastha, and Prahlad Maharaj actually the qualities of a vanaprastha in the 7th canto. If you actually read that, it's much more harsh. What a vanaprastha has to do, go to a forest. It says even 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, 6 year, that all the Prabhupada says vanaprastha. You go there, but very hard life, vanaprastha life. What Prahlad Maharaj depicts is like you basically sustaining on nothing, right? So, but here Prabhupada is most merciful. In this age, we know like other austerities are not recommended in this particular age. Prabhupada is just saying simply give Krishna consciousness to others and stay detached and chant the names of Hari. and eat prasadam and give prasadam. That's all. That is our vanaprastha. If you go to Vrindavan, if you are lucky, means naturally it happens and you have a service there, please go, Mathura. But if you have service here, do your service to the best. So that, because Prabhupada's purpose is to give this Krishna consciousness to in the West. And if all of us want to go and stay in Vrindavan, who is going to do that job? So we had to do that also. So go for yatras, recharge yourself, come back and make the place where you are actually dham and stay detached and practice nicely. And whatever Prabhupada said about women, you can interchange the name to men also. So it's all same. But goal is in the spiritual part, we are all the souls. We want to be in the association of Krishna. And how do we go back? There is various methods to various people. For Dhritarashtra, he has to leave the comfort and go to Vanaprastha. And he actually, Mahabharata says he actually practiced some kind of mystic yoga and basically merged himself into the elements. And basically fire consumes them. That is a mystic yogi, the dhyana yogi kind of process. He probably that's what is more attracted to than direct association with Krishna. So that's where today's topic is about, with Dhritarashtra leaving the family. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions? There should be some questions, right? It's not easy, Vanaprastha. Or you're all ready. Either one of those, right?
So Prabhuji, I have a question. So like you mentioned, the nice point that you mentioned was the contrast between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Dhritarashtra. And both heard Vidura, both were influenced by Vidura, but the instruction for one was to stay at home and
Yeah.
the other was to go
Go
to
to
Vanaprastha. And like you said, for us, the instruction also is to continue at home. But here we are seeing that Srila Prabhupada is saying at the age of 50, we should,
Yes.
become detached. And you said that, stay detached. But how should we, can you elaborate on that instruction, that how we should, how those who are above 50 should kind of reconcile this whole instruction, and what should change? I mean, that staying detached instruction was applicable even before 50.
Correct. At
So
the age
is there-
50,
Yeah, what should, for us, practically, what should be any subtle or more explicit change that we should do in our life?
yeah. So Prabhu's question, Paramakarana Prabhu's question is, at the age of 50, we have to detach. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. And in the Grahastha Ashram also, we have to practice the detachment. But what is the change that happens after 50 for Grahasthas here?
In our practical
In our practical life here. So the way to think about that is, throughout your Krishna consciousness life, how do you know you're actually making progress is your services will increase in Krishna consciousness. Initially, you started only chanting for your own benefit, and you started following the 4 regulative principles. Then you get initiated, and then after that, what? So the symptom of a progression is, has any new service come to you? Maybe it's preaching, maybe it's going into book distribution, maybe you're cooking in the temple, maybe you're cleaning the temple. Then you keep doing that. Then say another service will come, another service will come. So as your services are increasing in Krishna consciousness, at the same time, you still have to take care of your family, you're doing your duty, and you're balancing it very nicely. That means you are in a very equilibrium state. You know how to manage your time. How does it happen? Previously, we used to have potlucks, gatherings. We used to have picnics. We used to go see sightseeing. The same desires are there, but now we do potluck in the Sangha. Call the devotees and we have nice kirtan, we still have the fun. Right? We go to places. We go to Vrindavan, Mathura. We also enjoy the nature. We go and we think about Krishna. And there also we are eating. Here also we are eating. Now we are eating much better. So our time is now better utilized. It get replaced with whatever we are doing earlier. We're still doing the same thing, but with the purpose of Krishna behind. So Yukta Vairagya. Right? We don't give up things. Our renunciation, detachment means, oh, today onwards, I should not eat. I will work, but I will not eat. No, that's not the kind of detachment. I said, I will eat Krishna. Previously, I'm eating whatever is available, whatever I would like to eat, but now I'll only eat Krishna Prasad. So, like the detachment actually starts. Now it comes to 50. What do you do? Now, that means now you are seriously thinking, change your priorities. Krishna is the primary, Krishna's job. Other thing is supporting. Previously, I need to take care of my family and I need to do this. I have to practice in bring Krishna into my life. Now Krishna becomes center. That means you invite people to your home, conduct classes, bring new people and to the temple. Whatever service you can think of, which is naturally based on your capability, take it up. You may be successful, you may not be successful, but unless you try it, you don't know, right? So make sure that you actually change your priority, Krishna as your center, and then at the age of 50, start practicing it. At some point, if Krishna is willing, if he wants you to take full-time Krishna service, that's again his desire, not our desire. We cannot put an artificially, I want to do this kind of thing. Krishna may give you some other different service. Whatever service Krishna gives, you do it to the fullest extent. Maybe Krishna is revealing the mood in which you have to serve him in Goloka. Right? So take that service, right? So that's what you're basically change the focus towards Krishna. After 50, slowly. If you're doing it much before 50, then after 50 it becomes much more easier. But if you start doing at the age of 50, still nothing is lost. Because even a moment you talk about Krishna, think about Krishna, is going to be very valuable, just like Ajamila. Right? Then, okay, bro?
Wonderful. It's very nice points I got. Like, main point I got is like increase your services or take on newer services. And really, like from priority standpoint, mentally consciousness wise, family and or family life secondary, Krishna priority. Doesn't mean you quit family and you just walk out, but really put Krishna in the absolute first priority.
Yeah.
And everything else is secondary. Very, very, thank you for that very thoughtful and insightful answer.
Yeah, so we have we have so many examples in our, we can see Maharajas, other Grihasthas who are doing nice services. Just like Rupa Goswami says, you actually take work in the mood of one of the gopis or gopas in Vrindavan. So we don't have access to them, but we have access to sincere devotees. So just like the instruction applies for spiritual world, we need to take such similar inspiration from our current set of devotees. Anyone online? Any question? Okay, who is going to take up more services? Please reach out to Param Karuna Prabhu or your respective whoever people. The symptom of detachment and attachment to Krishna, the Yukta Vairagya principle is convert your current desires into current spiritual material cravings to spiritual cravings, and then engage in some service. Everybody who is not doing some service, try to increase your service. Those who are new to services, please take up a service. And those who want to know what this entire thing about, please attend these classes like this and get more insights. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Oh, you have, okay, Amritan Prabhu has a question here.
So Prabhu, I have the extension of this question, and if you can go to the verse.
This one?
No, one original verse. Yeah. See, here we see, we all have attachment for our relative.
Yeah.
So because we are discussing the Vanaprastha stage, so here you also see that Yudhishthira Maharaj, is so close to Krishna, but he was so disturbed when his uncle left. So same thing, we have attachment for our family members, our brothers, sisters, uncle, aunts, everybody will have that attachment. So how, you can give an understanding of how we should be thinking about getting detached. So here is Yudhishthira Maharaj, first of all, is he showing the attachment? I'm sure he is not on a material platform. But practically for us, how do we do that? You can give some pointers and be helpful.
Yeah, so here, this is actually Sanjay's thing, because this Sanjay, but you just was also inquiring about where my uncles are gone, remembering. So one is gratitude is a primary quality of a devotee. You always have to remember who helped you in your life, spiritually or materially, right? He's quoting if the Thrashtra would not have taken these Pandavas when they were young, said all kinds of calamities, something would have happened to them. You not spiritually help them, but physically protected them. That's why they say, even if your parents are not Krishna conscious, they are still your gurus. Because you are able to read because of this body which should come from them. And you have this body because they protected you, even without being Krishna conscious. So Shastra says, doesn't matter your parents are Krishna conscious or not, but they're always your guru. Doesn't matter, right? So that compassion you should have it. Like you have to have that compassion. So Dhritarashtra, Yudhishthira is actually showing compassion as a spiritual compassion here, and remembering all the good things. Because of him, I'm in this position. He knows he's giving the credit to Dhritarashtra. He's not remembering anything negative things that Dhritarashtra has done. So in our family life also, if wife has helped you very nicely, or the other family members help very nicely, you are detaching. There's no harm in expressing your gratitude, being compassionate, even if they are not really help you directly in Krishna conscious. Maybe they gave you a ticket to Vrindavan, and that's where you met your first devotee. So now the ticket is very valuable, right? So that way you should connect that person. Because you are thinking about him, a devotee is thinking about somebody is very positive. Either he would get association with another devotee, or he will get an opportunity to get associated with the devotee next life. So being compassion means not just only to you, but now you're extending your thing. Okay, let all these people be uh, relieved from this stress. Just like uh, Prahlad Maharaj was actually asking about Hiranyakashipu, what happened to my father? And Narasimhadev says, yes, he's already taken care of, right? So devotees, you see this theme in all places. Even Arjuna is being a compassionate before the war. The compassion is for a spiritual compassion, for the welfare of that particular body, soul actually, not the body. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, it's a very nice point. I mean, especially the gratitude. I mean, the point which you brought up, that what they have done for me, we cannot forget that.
Yeah.
Right? And they say I'm detached. You know, I don't care. So very nice points. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then compassion on the basis of that gratitude.
yeah, because some of our parents may not be in Krishna consciousness. Doesn't mean they didn't help you. Right? You need to be still compassionate. You still be respectful. Yeah, you still try to give the knowledge in a bite size, but you should not give up.
I think I understood, like, you know, we should not see their statements as some kind of material attachment. No,
Yeah.
it's all coming out of compassion and gratitude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So here, a class, this also like as what you are talking through, this, it applies to even the speaker, to me here also. We have total three families sitting here. We are seriously thinking about what these statements mean to us, right? Hare Krishna, any question online?
Very nice points, Prabhu. Jai Sachandas. I'm in a car driving to temple. Thank you for taking up this service this morning. I wish I was there amongst the three families hearing this katha. So thank you for also leading by your personal example of sacrifice and service to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. All of you hope to someday imbibe that same mood.
Thank you, Prabhu. I hope I not disturb any setup here, but I only encourage more people to take the services. Services are unlimited in Krishna. Krishna's service are unlimited. So it's just you have to think, pray, and Krishna will guide to everyone. With that, Srila Prabhupada ki,
Yeah.
Prabhupada Maharaj ki,
Lord Premanandi.
और Prema.
So in the mood of services, nothing that you said was not what Srila Prabhupada himself said. So I think it's very fair and appropriate. So please come for those of you that are online for the program today at 11 a.m. So it should be very enlivening. a nice opportunity to serve also at that program. Hearing is also service, so please come and hear and serve in the other ways. Thank you. Take care.
Hare Krishna.
Hare